Hello and welcome back to the channel for another Doctor Who figure unboxing. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Robot collector figure sets. The first set of the B&M waves of the lineup of the year in a sense, but also the last set of last year's lineup, because as you may know, this was meant to come out like in December last year or whenever, end of last year, and it just got delayed and delayed. And then it was meant to come out in mid-January this year, and obviously mid-January came and went, and yeah, on the day of recording, it's now the 10th of February, so, you know, it's about a month or so late, but hey, it's great to have it, and it's a great start to the year in terms of B&M releases. Obviously, hopefully we're going to get loads more to come in the coming months. But yeah, let's take a look at this one first of all. An impromptu boxing. I wasn't planning to do this. I just picked it up today from my local B&M, and yeah, they really have sort of appeared out of nowhere. It's been really quick this time in terms of how quickly they've got out there, and yeah, so it's great to have found one so soon and not have to have loads of hunting around for them or anything. So in the first half of this video, I will be unboxing this bad boy and taking a look at the two figures. Obviously, newer variants, new paint jobs of figures previously released. And then in the second half of the video, I will be sort of comparing them to those older releases and giving my opinion on which one is the superior out of the two. Because obviously we have the Fourth Doctor in his red coat, of course, one of the earliest classic series releases way back in Wave 1, and it was re-released again with the Electronic TARDIS, and also actually in the Fourth Doctor Adventure set. And then, of course, the K1 Robot in its original form, the original release there, which I didn't get at the time. I didn't get either of these figures at the time, actually. I got the K1 by buying all the 8 individual pieces individually, sort of about, well, I don't know, 7 years after those figures were released. So that was a challenge, and this new set actually is a really great way to get hold of both these figures, but particularly the K1 Robots if you didn't get it at the time, because yeah, these days it's not cheap to buy all those figures individually, especially Magnus Greel and Mr. Sin, which is one of the rarer individually single-carded classic series figures. But let's put those figures aside for the moment and turn our attention to this brand new set. So obviously the packaging, you know, you've seen it all before. I won't go into too much detail about it. It's a really nice size actually for this box. You perhaps can't really tell by the video footage here, or maybe you can, but it's a really sort of modest size and nice and compact. You know, it's not too thick compared to like some of the Dalek sets, like the History of the Dalek sets. It's a really nice size, and actually I think I will keep this box. I usually fold down, you know, the cardboard and have it like a flat pack thing and just bin the bubble inside. But I think I will keep this one as it is, because it's a really nice display piece as well, actually, you know, with those figures. I almost don't want to take them out of the packaging, but I am going to do that, of course. So that is the back of the box there. Pause the video if you want to read the little write-up on Robot there. Of course, Tom Baker's first story as the Doctor. But otherwise, let's crack this thing open just very carefully. If I can cut these little plastic stickers, there we go. And there's one over here as well. Very, very careful. Right. K1 Robot, here we come. So, yeah, I mean, as I say, and as you've seen, I do already own these figures, the first releases of them. Oh no, hang on, there's another thing there. But yeah, I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to get these new releases, because there are some paint variations, and you know what, as well, like I say, you know, it's a nice piece. It looks really great in the packaging. I think what I will do once I've opened this and once I've done this video, instead of having 2 K1 Robots on the shelf, I think I will stick the old one in this box in the bubble and keep it that way, and then have the new one on the shelf with the new paint decoration. But if we can just slide this out. Ooh, is it going to come? Yes, there we go. There we have our figures, and doesn't that look so great? I definitely think this is one of the nicest B&M sets in terms of how it looks in the box. They've done a really great job with that, you know, having Tom at a slight angle there, and the robot obviously. So yeah, let's take a closer look at these figures. But before we do that, actually, just a very brief look at the diorama inside. Of course, These are always good value and good to keep. They sort of double up as a display piece if that floats your boat, or something for figure photography. Quite a basic one this time around. I've seen other people say the same thing really. Just like a brick wall and then a keep out sign over there. But I do like the sort of dividing line here between the brick wall and the darkness. Suggests a sort of doorway or something, or just give it a bit of depth, which is nice. So yeah, we'll be keeping that and maybe using it for photos and stuff further down the line. And so here we have the figures. So who shall we do first? I think we will get Tom Baker out of his packaging first, set him free. But I will, of course, actually, while I'm here, take all of the little tags off. That's one of them. There we go. Second one, and finally then onto this one down here. There we go. There's an extra thing that I missed down there. Used to hold the scarf in place, I think. So here we have the Fourth Doctor himself, Mr. Tom Baker. This is a really striking figure, actually. I mean, like I say, and it's been previously released. It is a slight variant because this time we have the serious hatted face head sculpt on this body with the red jacket, and of course the red jacket itself actually has been redone slightly into a brighter, more vibrant shade of red, which when I first saw it in the pictures and stuff, promotional pictures, I did kind of think to myself, what are you going for there? It looks a bit odd. More like a shade of red you might see in a Doctor Who annual or one of the Jigsaw puzzles or whatever, where they get the colours a bit wrong and they're a bit more stylised. But actually in hand, I've got to say, it is really nice. And it's not too jarring, it's not too bad at all. And I have just got the other figure here, of course. It does make that one look very sort of dull and dark and burgundy and old-fashioned, I suppose, by comparison, and dull. Yeah, this one really does look a lot more vibrant, and so I think in that regard, yeah, this is an improvement upon that original figure. I mean, of course, as well, if we just take a look here at the patterning on the jumper and the little scarf thing there, that has been revised as well, as you can see there. I'm not quite sure which is the more accurate, because obviously the first release doesn't have any patterning on the scarf, and then the checked shirt is present on the first release but not on the new release, and then the cardigan underneath is sort of, I don't know, a similar sort of design on both of them, but ever so slightly different. So I'm not entirely sure which is more accurate. As well, worthy of note, it is the trousers, which on the new release here, it is more like the trousers on the Terror of the Zygons variant from a couple of years back, where it's got a sort of speckled paint effect, which does make the trousers look a lot nicer and a lot less dull again than the trousers here, which is a solid grey. So yeah, I think actually overall, as I say, this is an improvement upon that original release, which is surprising, surprising to me, because I wasn't expecting to like this new variant as much as I do. And the skin tone as well, this one looks a lot more tanned and yellow and orange compared to this one. So yeah, I think actually on the shelf I will be having this variant instead of the original release. But what about the K1 Robot? It's going to come out. Oh, it is very snugly packed inside there. There we go. K1 Robot, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the plastic bubble out of the way now, and I've also brought in the original release of K1 to do a proper comparison here. So right off the bat, there are some cosmetic changes that are quite obvious. Like I think most notably the sort of more pinky purpley tone to the reddy bits, which are red on this one, obviously. And there are a couple of other bits as well, like the black rather than silver on this neck section. The whole of the outer collar around here is a different colour as well. And if we turn around the original release as well. You can see that there are a couple of differences on the back, like the buttons here being black on the top and like silver on the bottom, and that's the opposite of the original release there. You've got the legal guff on his buttocks, the little the bum piece, which obviously wasn't present on the original release because it was a build-a-figure. And that is just about it, I think, really. I mean, in terms of the durability, I have seen some people say that this one is quite loose and quite difficult to stand up, perhaps. And yeah, I can feel that, you know, it's pretty loose, you know. It's not great build quality. And I mean, I haven't tried to stand it up, but if I just do that now... Oh, I mean, yeah, it's not amazing. But then, to be honest, this one over here was never amazing either, actually. I mean, yeah, it does stand up, and this one does stand up as well. But particularly, you know, around that middle joint there, I mean, my goodness, it's really loose. He's got some loose hips or whatever that bit is, the torso. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about these, actually, in terms of which one I prefer. I mean, actually, as well, I should have mentioned, of course, the thinner claw section here, which is, of course, more accurate compared to the thicker one on here. It's a thinner sculpt, as you can see here. And the disintegrator gun looks pretty similar. A couple of different, you know, paint applications or whatever in terms of the shade of gold. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, really. I think, I mean, you know, the original K1 will always hold a special place in my heart because that is one that I collected and built, so to speak, you know, from the original parts of the collect and build wave, Classic Wave 1. So, I think maybe I might keep the original one on the shelf. I haven't entirely decided that yet, and keep the new release in the packaging, on display or whatever, or in storage. But you know, yeah, I would say in any case, this new release really is a great chance to get hold of the K1 robots if you haven't got the original release, and there's, you know, plenty of reasons why you shouldn't have, because it's very expensive and hard to get all those bits and pieces to build it. And yeah, you know, like I say, you know, this guy as well, the build quality on this was never amazing. I mean, not bad obviously, but just in terms of how it stands up and stuff, it is a bit of a pain to stand even the original release up. So yeah, I'm not sure whether I'd say this new version is necessarily better or worse, really. I don't know. I'm sort of more on the fence about it. But as I say, it is a great chance to pick this figure up if you never got hold of it at the time. So that does it for this unboxing, review, comparison, whatever it's been. I do hope you've enjoyed this, watching me unbox these figures and hearing my thoughts on them. And it's great to have got hold of them so early as well, so soon after they've been released. Like I say, I think in terms of the comparisons and which ones I prefer, for the fourth Doctor, he's actually really surprised me. I really like the new variant of this figure. It wasn't one that I was expecting to like as much as I have done. For the K1 robots, not quite so sure. Although, to be honest, in seeing them all lined up here, I am warming to that newer variant. I think the red on the original does look a bit bland by comparison. But yeah, I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to put back on the shelf yet. I haven't fully decided, but certainly, yeah, if you haven't picked up that figure before, if you missed out on it when it was first released, you cannot go wrong. It's a really nice set. It looks great in the box. Such a great start to the year in terms of B&M releases, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what they come up with next, really. Please give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Feel free to check out my other recent videos and my other Doctor Who figure unboxings. And also, please do consider supporting me on my brand new Patreon page if you want to support the channel a bit further. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.